Hey YouTube, me again. So, welcome to 26 weeks. 26 weeks. Let's do the bump date first. We'll see how this is going because there's a whole thing happening in that room. Can you see it? So, I feel big, but when I go back on videos, like the videos that I did of me with my daughter, me at 26 weeks with my second daughter, I was much bigger than I am right now. And I had a visitor today at my house, and she was thinking about with my first daughter, and when she walked up, she said, "Oh my gosh, you're so much smaller than you were." So, and I'm feeling smaller. I'm feeling smaller than I was at comparable, whatever, timeline with, I know, my second daughter. But anyway, so 26 weeks, and I've done a few videos this week. So I'm just gonna pretty much stick to the pregnancy aspect of things. My hip and leg and back pain is much better than it was. I can tell I'm needing to stay on top of things though, because I'm still sore. But that pain was really no joke, and so I want to get away from that as much as possible. Still have heartburn. Sometimes I forget to take my meds. My daughter does this sometimes. I don't know why. She falls asleep and then she wakes up crying, and she falls asleep and she wakes up crying. I don't know. So, what else? I'm feeling more activity. It's nothing crazy strong. I will say, like, since I've been doing this video, I've been feeling a little down here, and I think that's his legs, his feet. Based on his position, my last scan, his head was up top and his feet were on bottom, so that's probably his feet. And last night I was feeling some stuff over here, so I'm like, that's probably like hands or head or, something like that. I am starting to get more uncomfortable sleeping. I'm thinking I'm really gonna have to start utilizing the pregnancy pillow more than what I have been. I think by this stage in the game, probably with both my girls, I was probably already using it. So I really can't complain. I'm just trying to think of what all symptoms I'm having. I don't know, because let me just say, my life has been crazy. It's gonna continue to be crazy, and I have stuff. I have a ton of stuff again tomorrow. I have a few whatever things happening on Saturday. I have stuff on Sunday. I have appointments, things that like I have to do. My mom's gonna have to watch my kids next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Every day. It's every day. And so anyway, I'm trying really hard not to get overwhelmed. I think I've already arrived, but I'm trying not to stay there. So that said, all I'm trying to relay with that is just that I'm not paying as much attention to myself, to my body, to what's going on. I went back and listened to some of my videos from when I was pregnant with my daughter, you know, as I said before, just as a reference point for me, I'm so glad I did those. And honestly, I just skimmed them. I didn't like sit there and watch them. But I was like, oh my gosh, I sound kind of intelligent in some of this. Oh my gosh, I was so much more prepared, you know, than what I am right now. I'm just so living life, you know. I might not be able to do this. Okay, we'll see how this goes. So, yeah, so it's just I'm very caught up with so many different things in life, and I'm spread so thin. And back then I was working a work from home office job, which allowed me to research some things. I would look things up, whatever. And while I was working, I would put my earbuds in, and I was just more on top of things because of that. And I know that's what it is. And I've looked up almost nothing, you know, honestly. So that's just how it is. But anyway, that said, this pregnancy is going by fairly quickly. It's, you know, I felt like my first one went by the slowest. Yeah, I didn't have any other kids. Everything was around, you know, centered around that. That was a focal point. But we did have some things going on in life that were very stressful and consuming. So actually for my mom, that pregnancy was maybe the fastest. But for me, it was the slowest. And then with my second daughter, I was trying to be super present, super intentional. And I felt like I was really trying to do that because I did already have one child. And so I was trying to devote myself to both and really focusing on the second one as well. That pregnancy still went by to me a little faster than the first. But for my mom, she says that's not how it was for her. This one is just, in some ways, it feels long. But honestly, when I think in 2 weeks, I will be in the 3rd trimester. That's bananas. But then I have like a whole thing about that too, because then we'll also, like, by the time I have this child, we'll be entering like the end of summer. And I really want to enjoy summer as much as I can, you know, so there's the ways that you can look at that. So this is the deal. I had my doctor's appointment this week. This again was the doctor's appointment that I was supposed to have a week ago, and I rescheduled because it was supposed to be the scan and the doctor's appointment, and then I rescheduled. I could only get the scan last week, and then this week was the doctor's appointment. So it's kind of falling funny in a way, but I had some questions for him and stuff. And so anyway, what we're gonna do is in 3 weeks, it'll be just before I'm 29 weeks. I'll still be 28 weeks. I'm gonna go in, so next week I have to go into the city. I have to go an hour and a half away from my house and have a scan. And then the following week I have a week off from like baby doctor stuff, as far as I know. And then the week after that, so 3 weeks from now, I have to go in town to the clinic that is here on a Tuesday, and I have to do my blood work, which it's like a whole blood panel, and I don't know if it's a CBC and everything else, and then an antibody screen, and then I do my glucose test. And then the next day, I will go 45 minutes away from my house, and I will have my doctor's visit, which would be like a monthly doctor's visit or whatever, but I'll have my doctor's visit and I'll get my RhoGAM shot. And after that, I'll be doing bi-weekly appointments. So my appointments will go every other week. So I'll already be to that point, which is crazy to think about, but it's true. So today, and in amongst all of the craziness of today, I tried to sit down and look at the packet that they gave me, because they gave me a packet and it was largely what I already printed out from this like affiliate's website. It was largely that, but then there were some other things in there too. I tried to sit down and look at that. I tried to start wrapping my head around like the hospital bag thing. I talked about that in another video. I'm thinking probably in the next 8 weeks, I want to have everything here and ready so that I can be packing my bags and stuff. And you think 8 weeks, that's 2 months, but it is going by fairly quickly. So I need to start thinking about that. I need to start preparing myself for all of that. What I'm really afraid of, and what it almost feels like is going to happen, is all of this is going to slip by me, and I'm going to be all of a sudden going, oh my gosh, I'm in labor. I guess I got to go have this baby. And I will be not mentally or emotionally prepared for it whatsoever. I am a little worried about that, but it'll be okay. I am going to try to start getting myself in the right frame of mind. I have already done the 3-part series that I talked about previously. It is a 3-part series on YouTube by someone named Holiday Tyson. She was a midwife. The videos were posted like 11 years ago or something, but they're very beneficial. And I've already watched them all through once, or listened to them or whatever. And I've planned through this whole time to listen to them again. Right now, what I want to start doing is, when I'm able to, is pull up some like what's in my hospital bag videos, if they're not too annoying, and just kind of start preparing myself that way, because all that helped me tremendously when I was pregnant with my second daughter. Like before, it just helped me get in the right headspace. And so I want to start doing that. And what I'm hoping is, especially once I'm no longer working, especially once my daughter is on summer break and we are not working so hard to finish school. Today I really had a moment where I thought, I just need to pull the plug on this and not give up homeschooling, but be done for the year and not push her through the end of first grade. Not that I'm pushing her through, it's just the workload is a lot to finish in a certain amount of time, because this is my daughter's kindergarten year. So just to be clear on that, this was her kindergarten year and she's almost through first grade. And so with the timeline the way that it is, the workload right now is pretty heavy for homeschooling. It's pretty heavy. But the thing is that she can do it, and I know she can do it. So part of me wants her to do it. I don't know, but I do think that once I'm through work, once I'm officially not working anymore, which is after next week. And then once my daughter's on summer break especially, maybe I'll have a little more time to catch back up on my Bible studies. I'm going to be trying to do that because I've fallen behind, because things have just been crazy. And then maybe I can start getting myself more prepared. So right now, my biggest takeaway, being 26 weeks pregnant, staring down the barrel of being in my 3rd trimester very soon, is I don't feel very prepared. I don't feel very prepared at all. I'm not where I want to be at on getting things ready in this house. Of course, I know it's not the end of the world if we're not, but I still don't have a wardrobe for this kid. I'm not prepared. We are getting the doors and windows, and I know I said I was focusing on pregnancy stuff, but I mean, really, like, I'm at a standstill. A lot of stuff is going to have to come together in my 3rd trimester, which is not what I wanted. I wanted my 3rd trimester kind of off, if I'm honest, to focus on like getting in the right headspace, listening to podcasts, listening to videos, or, you know, whatever while I'm doing things. That's what I was hopeful for. And just being out and doing things with my kids, not working really hard in my house to get everything ready, get everything set up, get everything put back in order and clean after having construction in the house, even though I'm very grateful. I hope everything comes together easily and it doesn't take my entire third trimester. I'm going to be busy, and I'm a little tired of being that busy, and especially the type of busy that I've been, which is not busy living life. This is my last summer with my 2 girls, just them, and I would like to enjoy that. Not that I can't enjoy having a son, I will, but my whole family dynamic is getting ready to change, and I would like to just have my summer with them. So anyway, that's what I'm looking at. 26 weeks. My 26th week, this pregnancy, is going to be very busy, and it is going to be fairly stressful, and I'm going to try not to let it get to me. That is my goal. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me on this journey, and I'll see you next time. Bye.